Here is the other team of choral speaking champions. This is the Pure Boys group. They are from the 1D class. Besides choral speaking, they also won awards in the solo verse. They won 2 champion awards and 2 runner-up awards. At the same time, we have the boys from 2A. They participated in the solo verse. Congratulations, boys. Let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, my name is Rashid.
Hi, my name is Carlos from 2A.
Hi, I'm Fahad from 1D1.
Hi, I'm David from 1D1.
Hi, I'm Awan from 1D1. And I'm Harjot from 1D2.
So how was your experience in the choral speaking?
For us, our teacher said it's not the most important thing to win, but it's more about giving a good performance and maybe our best performance to get the best outcome out of it.
It was a great experience, but it was nerve-wracking at some bits when I had to stand up and look at the big crowd.
How about your experience in Soloverse?
It was good, but at first it was pretty scary because it was really my first time competing solo verse. But overall, the experience was great. It was good.
For me, it was also great, but at the same time, I also got a lot of fear for the competition because it wasn't my first time, but I still got an award for my first time too. And yeah, and the judge said that we still are a winner because we have stood ourselves in the crowd to represent ourselves in school. And yeah, that's it.
To be honest, it was good and fun, but in the same time, it was hard for me to memorize the poem because I was afraid, what if I forget the poem again? Yeah.
For me, other than memorizing the poem itself, the most important aspect is to be confident. Be confident means that you're relaxed and you know what to do it and how to do it well, so that you get the best outcome out of it.
For me, I think to win a contest as a solo speaking, I think it's important to memorize the poem properly, know where to pause, know the structure of the poem, and understand what the author really wants to say. And I think that will make a very good poem.
Well, the participants should have self-confidence and project their voice, and they also they should not be nervous, because if they're nervous, they will feel shy, and then they might forget the poem.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your answers.
This year, our school got some great rewards from the speech festival. We got 40 total awards, which 8 are champions, 12 are first runner-ups, and 20 are second runner-ups. Crystal, congratulations. You were the champion of the solo verse. The poem you presented was A Feather from an Angel. Can you share some of the techniques that you used while presenting?
Well, you definitely need some intonation and most importantly practice, because practice makes perfect.
Well, I can't wait to interview the other winners. This year, we have 2 teams that got the champion in the choral speaking section. Now, we have the girls from 3D2. Hi, Kim, Vanessa, and Mariz. Congratulations, girls, especially Kim and Maurice. They got the prize from the solo verse as well.
So, what kind of difficulties did you guys face during practice?
Well, we faced a lot of difficulties because we're a large group of students, and we're also a mix of both people who are new to this and people who have some experience. But because we're a large group of new and old, so we face problems such as synchronization. We face problems with the fact that not everyone's first language is English, actually. So we had to make sure that they were comfortable with speaking English, basically, and to get them to say it clearly, and to also do all their actions on time with what they're saying. And while throughout our entire process of practicing over very long hours, we also had to remember that we have some sort of motivation, because throughout this process we almost gave up because, frustration from feeling we're not improving. So actually our teacher became our motivation. because not only us had to stay long hours after school to practice, she also had to. And this was not by her choice. So she became our motivation to make her proud.
Did you guys use any props or actions? If so, what props and actions did you use and how did they help?
Well, we did use some props and actions. For me, I am the chairperson of our class, so I'm actually the one who's directing them with my class teacher. So first, because we were a mix of CMI and EMI students, so it's hard. We have to do the pronunciation well and everything synchronized. After that, we start adding some actions and some props. First action, it was kind of difficult because it's not synchronized at all, and some are late, some are doesn't know what to do. And the props, it's just simple. Like for the dentist, she has the probe and her clothes. And then for the crocodile, you got the golden chain. So simple. And how did they help us is all those stuffs made the performance more lively and more interesting.
How did you guys make yourself stand out? I think that's quite important when it comes to choral speaking.
Yeah, so as a main character, I played the role as a friendly dentist. And I also had this question on my mind while practicing, was how to make myself more memorable and how to stand out from the other people behind. And what I thought of was to use props, as Maurice already said. And one of the props we used was a t-shirt, a white one, to act it as a dentist's coat. And one more thing that we also used was a selfie stick, which used as a probe for the dentist. And that was a really good replacement since the probe is really small and we can't actually use it. Along with that, I obviously had my own lines in action. And I tried to exaggerate my actions and expression, but obviously I still needed to stay in my character. And I also practiced my intonation to sound more scared as a dentist. And so all of that together with my practice turned out very well, and I'm very satisfied with our performance.
Thank you for your answer. Now, for this question, I would like to focus on Kim and Maurice about their experience in the Soloverse competition. What aspect do you think is the most important in order to win?
For me, I think two aspects are very important. To know your poem, to memorize it, and also to understand your poem. Because if you understand your poem, then you know where you can then you know what you can add to make your poem better, to make your performance more memorable, to engage the audience even more. And then obviously memorizing your poem is one of the most important things. You can't present with something you don't know.
So before I'm gonna answer that question, I would like to talk about my experience before the competition. So I'm a very busy girl. I'm the chairperson, so I have a lot of things to do and some after-school activities. So I don't really have time to do my solo speech. But then, people have to be responsible, right? So, I use some late night time before going to sleep. I try to read it, even though it's not that good, but then doesn't matter if win or lose, at least try your best, and like that.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for your answers.
You're welcome.
This is the second year to have students join the prose reading competition. This year, our school has earned 2 champions, 3 first runner-ups, and 4 second runner-ups. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves first?
Hi, my name is Herbie. I'm from 5D and I came second place for the prose reading competition.
Hi, my name is Rahila and I'm from 5D and also came second place for girls prose reading.
Hi, my name is Kienwa. I'm from 5D and I came first place for S5 prose reading for boys.
Hi, my name is John. I come from class 5D and I came second place for boys prose reading.
So first, I would like to ask you guys, do you think prose reading is easier than verse?
In my opinion, yes. I think that prose reading is easier than verse, largely in part due to in verse it is required to memorize the poem, but as for prose reading, you have your reference in your book, in your assessment book. So what do you think, John?
I agree with that, and to add to that, I think verse often requires exaggeration when compared to prose reading. Prose reading is merely just reading from a book instead of almost acting out a poem. What do you think, Herbie?
Well, as John said, it's mostly on prose reading, where we mainly just have to focus on expression and the pronunciations, as well as for the voice, how loud we should be. And the good thing is that we don't have to memorize the whole thing, just like verse.
Well, I have to agree with all of you that verse is just about, like, you have to memorize, while prose reading is you have to stick to the piece and just focus on your your expressions and emotions, but not to memorize all the thing.
So how did you guys prepare yourselves for the competition?
We basically started off by reading over the chapter, getting familiarized with the overall chapter, understand what's happening in the story, and anything else you guys want to add?
Well, teachers also made us rehearse to the class so we could prepare for the real competition. This way we were able to deal with the pressure of an audience, which helped, as well as practice how loud we would speak and projection due to the fact that the class is always noisy. How about you, Kim?
Well, for my personal experience, I had to, before getting to get familiarized with the book, I had to overcome my stage fright, because I think that if you're confident with your book, then you will have a high chance of making a good impression towards the judges. So one thing I did was to just tell myself to just calm down and take deep breaths before it was my turn. Yeah.
Well, it was all about practice, as we all say that practice makes a man perfect. We practice like almost every day in front of class, in front of our teacher, English teacher, and in front of even our peers. That's how we learn, and we got what we get.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your answers. Nothing is impossible. Our CMI students have achieved outstanding results in the speech festival too. Here with us we have Jessica, Nicole, and Beryl from class 4D1. So I'd like to ask, what kind of difficulties did you encounter during your practice times?
For me, when I first read the point 1, and I thought that is very easy to read. But as I started to practice, I found it difficult to interpret the meaning of the point. So the expressions were confusing.
Because English is my second language, there's some difference between how I interpret them and Chinese. It's not as easy as Chinese, so it's easier to break a sentences between words. It's easier to separate a link perhaps into two sentences.
To understand the poem, we need to know the poem the writer wants to say, the sentiment of the poem, the transformation of the sentiment. It is to be expressed in the recitation, much as an actress reads his line. So I think it is very difficult to understand the poem.
Did winning the competition help build up your confidence in your English skills?
Yes, it can improve my speaking skills, and I never try to join such competition like this. And then I think it is very rewarding experience, and I can now speak confidently in front of a big audience.
And of course, it is an honor to be able to successfully perform a non-negative words and get teachers' approval. The background of the story in this point is very different from that of ancient Chinese poverty. Being able to successfully bring myself into a character and have other persons in English is a great encouragement for me, and it's a bit like dubbing.
I tend to get nervous easily during the competition, so I think when I joined this competition first time, I learned how to control the emotion to say the poem. and I also build confidence.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your answers.